Hello, everyone. In this lecture, we turn our attention to LGBTQ plus relationships and families. Chapter 8 examines how LGBTQ plus people form intimate relationships, define family, and navigate social institutions that have historically been structured around heterosexual norms. The chapter begins by emphasizing that ideas about relationships and family are socially constructed. Definitions of family vary across cultures and historical periods, yet dominant social institutions in the United States have traditionally centered heterosexual marriage and biological reproduction as the standard model. LGBTQ plus families often challenge these assumptions by demonstrating a wider range of relationship structures and family formations. Research discussed in this chapter shows that LGBTQ plus relationships function in many of the same ways as heterosexual relationships, including emotional intimacy, commitment, mutual support, and shared responsibilities. However, LGBTQ plus relationships frequently develop within contexts shaped by stigma, discrimination, and minority stress. These external pressures influence how individuals form partnerships and maintain relationships. The chapter also addresses common myths about LGBTQ plus relationships. Historically, some stereotypes suggested that same sex relationships were unstable or less satisfying than heterosexual relationships. Empirical research reviewed in the chapter challenges these assumptions, demonstrating that relationship quality depends on communication, support, and shared values rather than sexual orientation. An important theme throughout the chapter is minority stress and its impact on relationships and families. Experiences of homophobia, heterosexism, and social rejection can create additional emotional strain for LGBTQ plus individuals and couples. At the same time, supportive relationships often serve as protective factors that promote resilience and well being. The chapter expands the definition of family beyond biological or legal ties. Many LGBTQ plus people develop chosen families, networks of friends, partners, and community members who provide emotional and practical support. Chosen families often emerge when individuals experience rejection or limited acceptance from their families of origin. Family acceptance plays a significant role in mental health and relationship stability. LGBTQ plus individuals who receive support from parents and relatives generally experience better psychological outcomes, while rejection can contribute to stress and social isolation. These dynamics demonstrate how family relationships remain central across the life course. The chapter also explores LGBTQ plus parenting and families with children. LGBTQ plus individuals and couples become parents through multiple pathways, including adoption, foster care, assisted reproductive technologies, and previous heterosexual relationships. Research shows that children raised in LGBTQ plus families demonstrate outcomes comparable to those raised in heterosexual households. Despite these findings, LGBTQ plus families may encounter challenges when interacting with social institutions such as schools, healthcare systems, and legal organizations. Parents sometimes face lack of recognition, unequal treatment, or limited representation of their family structures within educational settings. These institutional barriers illustrate how inequality can persist even as legal recognition expands. Recent legal and social changes, including marriage equality, have reshaped opportunities for LGBTQ plus couples and families. These developments have increased access to legal protections and parental recognition. However, the chapter also notes ongoing debates within LGBTQ plus communities about whether assimilation into traditional institutions fully reflects queer experiences or priorities. Researchers studying LGBTQ plus families face methodological challenges as well. Because sexual orientation and gender identity are not always publicly disclosed, collecting representative data can be difficult. Additionally, earlier research often relied on heteronormative definitions of family, which excluded diverse relationship structures such as child free families, extended kinship networks, or polyamorous relationships. The chapter highlights organizations that support LGBTQ plus families, including advocacy and education groups that provide resources for individuals, parents, and allies. These organizations help families navigate social challenges while promoting acceptance and understanding. Overall, Chapter 8 demonstrates that LGBTQ plus relationships and families are diverse, adaptive, and shaped by broader social conditions. Rather than representing deviations from family life, LGBTQ plus families expand our understanding of what family can mean. As we continue in this course, this discussion encourages us to think critically about how social institutions define relationships, whose families receive recognition, and how concepts of love, care, and kinship continue to evolve.